Hello, today we're going to do lesson 10, Pythagorean theorem. Now this is very easy. You guys learned it in the previous book as well. And what we have to remember is that what Pythagoras realized is that if I square each of these sides, so let's make a square here, then the area of these would be a square. If I square this one here, and they're both b, so b times b squared. And then if I also square the big one, the hypotenuse, that would be c times c squared. And what Pythagoras realized is that in any right triangle, so it has to have a 90-degree angle, but in any right triangle, the addition of the square of the first leg and the second leg, remember these are called legs, the ones that form the L, they are going to always equal the hypotenuse square. The hypotenuse is always the longest side and is always opposite to the 90-degree angle. So that is the formula that you have to remember. This is just an explanation or a demonstration, but the theorem is this one. This is what you have to memorize. So again, it doesn't matter which one is which, but you have to remember that the A and the B are the legs, and then the C is always the hypotenuse. Now remember, that is logical because the two smaller sides, which are A and B, together add up the longest one. So it doesn't make sense if I say that C squared plus B squared equals A squared. That doesn't make sense. So the legs have to be together because they're the two smallest, and then together they equal the biggest. So let's see how we use this formula. Again, in example 1, they're going to ask to find m, and what we have to use is Pythagoras. How do I know I have to use Pythagoras? Because I have two given sides and one that is unknown. Now remember that this theorem only works for right triangles. So in this case, A and B are 4 and 3. Now, it doesn't matter if I put 3 squared plus 4 squared or 4 squared plus 3 squared, it's the same thing. So we'll just put it here. And then C is going to be the hypotenuse, which in this case is the unknown, or the m. Now, we simplified this. This is 9 plus 16, and that's m squared. Now, that's 25, and that's m squared. So the square root of 25 is 5. And that is the value of m in this case. In example 2, they give us another right triangle, but in this case, they're giving us one of the legs and the hypotenuse. And what is unknown is the other leg. So let's write the formula just so that we remember what we have. And then we're going to exchange the 6. It's going to be, let's say, our A. B is the x, and C is the 10. So in this case, we have 36 plus x squared equals 100. Now, if we pass to subtract, we have 100 minus 36, which is 64. And the square root of 64 is 8. So in this case, x equals 8. Now, in example 3, what they asked is that we used the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between 2 points. So the first thing we have to do is graph. And we're going to graph the point 2, 3, which is here. And then we also are going to graph -1, -3, which is here. Once I graphed both points, we're going to connect them. And that is the distance. That's what we want to find. Now, what we're going to do, since they're asking that we use the Pythagorean theorem, is that we're going to create a right triangle connecting both of these 2 points. So notice that if I bring down and to the right these 2 points, they meet here in a perpendicular way, so they form a right triangle. So we have to count here. There are 3 spaces, and then we count here, and there are 6 spaces. And so when I use the formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then I have to just substitute. So 3 is going to be my a squared, 6 is going to be the b squared, and c is the distance I need to find. That's 9 plus 36, which is 45. And we have to find the square root of that. So d equals the square root of 45. Now if you put that in the calculator, or if you simplify it, that's going to be 3 square root of 5, and that would be the distance between the 2 points. And that's how we use the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between the 2 points. Okay, if something is not clear, watch again the video. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. Have fun doing math.